Don't mind me, I'm just trying to get the camera in the right spot here. All right. See how many people come on tonight? Now this thing is messy. Just warning y'all. It's a messy tool. Get the light on there for y'all. There you go. All right. Let me get these clamps in. Dooby-dooby-doo. I see you. Dooby-dooby-doo. Oh, we got 4 people on. Nice. Bear with me, guys. I'm just setting up, okay? Oh, come on. I tell you what, these little clamps, they're kind of tricky. What up, Ted? What up, Ted? What up? These little clamps are a little tricky, but once you get them, they really do help with everything. Okay. One in this corner here, stop it from sliding. There. And we'll put the other 2 on just to be safe. Thank you, Doug. Thank you very much. And yes, we did get the K. Don't mind my washing machine in the background. It's almost done washing. You can hear it spinning. But yeah, we finally got the 10K. And I am currently figuring out on a solution and the best way to do this giveaway so that it's easy and all that stuff. See, I'm a different type of a cat. I'm kind of a night owl, so I do a lot of my projects at night. It's just what I do. Usually during the day, I'm usually running around with my head cut off. I don't have time for YouTube, so that's why my lives don't go live till damn near 9 o'clock at night, at least my time. Oh, you son of a bitch. This one wants to be difficult. We may just say screw this one because it wants to be difficult. I should have did all this before I pressed the live button, but you live, you learn. One may be a little bit too low. Alright, now we're all clamped in. Just like that. Oh, we got 31 people watching, eh? No, this thing does not have dust collection. Probably a little bit too much to take off. Let's raise it up. Take out little bits at a time. Now we only got to do one side, and then we can put the other side through the planer. So that's what we're fixing to do. Lock that in. Boom. All right. Let's get this all plugged in. I tell you what, this skill router. What up, cheeseburger? I'm gonna be putting a garage together. What do I need a router for? I mean, if you're gonna have windows in that garage, I mean, you can use a router and a flush trim bit to trim all the windows out and all that type of stuff. A lot of guys use routers to do that. That Skill Fix Base is a pretty good router for the price I paid for. It's all digital up top, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see the screen up top here. But it's got all these different settings for hardwoods and epoxies and stuff like that. It's really cool. All right, we're going to try and make a pass here. Pray for me. Because I got a lot of money and time invested into this damn thing. And if I screw it up now, I may cry. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get it set. Hardwood. This is, I should probably put earplugs in. Hold on, guys. I don't want to go deaf. Souls always yells at me about the ear stuff, so Tools with Souls always yells at me about the ear protection stuff, so we'll listen to him. It's nice and flat. It's not moving around. Goody goody. No, that's epoxy. Yeah, the middle part's epoxy. And then, yeah, it overflowed a little. That's why we're flattening it. All right, let's do it. Well, I don't know if you guys saw that at the beginning or not, but I definitely nicked the frickin' plastic on the sled there because it slid back. I just put a coat of wax on it and it slid back a little bit more than I wanted to, and that's why you saw that blue stuff come out. So I definitely just put a little nick in the sled part. Oh well. Now see how uneven it was, guys? See how it took all that off? See that? Oh, I gotta turn on my vac. This thing makes a freaking mess. Holy cow, does this thing make a mess. I gotta figure out a way to get my dust collection on this thing. Oh, I may be able to. I may be able to jerry rig something over there. They say you can't, but I'm gonna try. That's how uneven it was because of where the epoxy went. So now that we got this side flat, we'll use this side, do our planer on the other side, right? And then we'll flip it back around once that side's flat too, and we'll finish off with the planer, getting the rest of this epoxy out. Then we'll use our track saw, and we'll just take off slivers on each end here, square it all up, and then it's time for sanding and finishing. Let me get this mess cleaned up though. That worked pretty good though, didn't it, guys? Boy, oh boy. I used just wood on this a few times. I haven't done the epoxy with it yet. I tell you what, the epoxy goes everywhere. Like literally, and it sticks to everything. I think my vacuum's almost full. I'm losing something. Of course, it gets full. It always gets full when I'm live. It's never full when I'm just working, not on live. Look at all this. That frickin' epoxy just goes everywhere. That did come out pretty good. I can't wait to put it through the planer, guys. I can't believe I nicked my damn jig. I can't believe I nicked it. Yep, right there, I nicked the shit out of it. I'll catch up to your guys' questions here in 2 minutes. I'm almost done getting all this cleaned up. You guys got to remember, I'm in a basement. I'm not in a garage where I can just blow it out. And I really don't want all the dust to accumulate down here. There's like baseboard heat down here. I don't want all that crap going into baseboard heat and ruining it. You know, all that good stuff. Alright, good enough for me. Alright. there's actually two of them, Ted. I got both. This is the one that comes, this is the 2.5 horsepower digital model that comes with a plunge router base as well. So you can put this in the plunge router base. And the one I had on here before was the 2 horsepower skill one. That's now in my skill router table. That's just a fixed. There is no plunge base for it. It's just a fixed router. And I chose to get this one because it was on mega sale, because Lowe's is getting, they got rid of all that skill stuff. You know what I mean? And the price was just stupid cheap. And it is very powerful. It is very loud, though. I will say that. It's louder than the Bosch or the DeWalt, but what do you expect? It's a skill. And it's got, here, let me see if I can put that up there. So, I don't know if you guys can see that. See how it says 2,500 RPMs and it says hardwood down here? You can change all that. See? Now you can go down to 2350, 22. So you can really dial in the RPMs here. There's also hardwood, softwood, epoxy settings on here. It's really, really nice. And you guys saw how smooth that was. What up, LFL? But yeah, let me go get the model number for both of them, Todd. Hold on. All right, so here's the boxes. So the one that's in my router table is the 10 amp fixed base one, okay? And that is RT 1323, okay? And the one that's on my jig here is the fixed. It comes with a fixed base or a plunge base, 2.5 horsepower, 14 amp model, and that model number is RT 1322. Both very, very good. Both got more than enough power to do 98% of the stuff you want to do. And they have a nice soft start. They don't have a good brake though. You definitely got to wait for them to wind down. But yeah, pretty nice for the amount of money I paid for them. All right, let's get this out of the way. Slide you over here. Let's get the board. Man, that came out good. You can see how unlevel it was, though, guys. You see that, right? Like, you see how unlevel that is? See how it barely took any epoxy off from here on out? There's a little bit it took off up here in the corner. But that's how unlevel it was. Now, if I would have ran that through my planer, you would have been making the other side that same unlevelness. So you got to at least get one side relatively flat before you run it through the planer, okay? Unless you want to plane it down to a toothpick. That's what you're going to end up having. Or you could double side tape it or CA glue the board to a piece of plywood, and then you can run it through your planer that way to get it to flatten out. But this is why I got this thing, right? I got this thing to do live edge epoxy tables and stuff, so yeah. That's why we got this jig, so why not use it, right? So yeah. You can see the wood. That came out beautiful there. It came out real nice there. Now you see these lines, right? That's not because it's unlevel. That's just something that happens with the wood when you cut it there. That literally comes out sanding on it for 5 seconds. I thought too that was it being unlevel or something, but it ain't. It's just basically whatever happens to the wood while you're cutting it. I did my research on it. But that epoxy came out beautiful. There's no bubbles in there or nothing. All right, let's get everything situated to go over to the planer. Thank you, Steve. get this. Let me get my crap off the planer. Like, I don't know why I got a skill battery up there. I was probably charging my phone or something. So what are y'all doing on Tuesday night? Did I freeze up? Because I haven't seen you guys comment in a minute. Did I freeze up? Let me know. Let me know if I'm still good or if I froze. Put the light on it so you guys can see better. All good? Thank you, Mr. Merck. How are you this evening? Let me get the hose out of the way for my dust collector. You guys also got to realize I am working with very minimal space down here, so I try to get creative. Like, yeah. I try not to have that a full 90, otherwise then it doesn't suck that good. As you can see, well, you probably can't see, but this is the next project. I am redoing my wife's grandfather's chair for her. I'm gonna recondition it. That's the next project after I'm done with this. All right, so let's see here. Now that we got the one side flat, we can take all this off very slowly, very slowly. So I'm a little bit nervous here, guys, because I've never done this before. What up, Pine Tree? What up, man? We're just trying to finish up this epoxy live edge. Oh, I gotta plug in the planer. Hold on, guys. I gotta plug in the planer. Hold on. All right, all plugged in. Let's move it over here, guys. What are you guys doing? Huh? Let's see. Tired. What's up, Tools with Souls? Looks like some lows. Has the RT2 to 154, 109. Yeah, but depending on your lows, they're starting to phase those out too. And that's why I got the router table. They're starting to phase all that stuff out. So keep your eye on it, depending what lows you're at. Because I know the lows around my area have been starting to phase that stuff out. But even at the 109 or 150 price, I mean, you look at the competitors, they're 250, 260. Let's see. I think she came up pretty good. What do you guys think, huh? Sayer, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right, I can take out my earplugs now. See, Souls? You'd be happy with me. I had earplugs in. That came out really good. That came out really good. What do you guys think? Not bad for a first try, huh? I think I'm going to use this side. I like the way this side looks better with the how the wood goes from dark, 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 lighter, lighter, lighter to light. I like that look better on this side than, I mean, it kind of does on this side, but down here it doesn't do it as much. You do get the wider epoxy part on this side, but I am really happy with how that came out. So the flattening jig really worked well. It does make a huge mess. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I don't like how that model, you can't hook up your dust collection to it. I'm going to try and jerry-rig my dust collection hookup to the router, though, on it. The big version of that Rockler jig, though, it's got its own personal dust collection, and it does a really good job collecting the dust. But the one that I got, not so much. Decent, yeah. And I tell you what, this epoxy, I'm going to have to open up that planer and clean the shit out of it tonight because it's probably all gunked up with epoxy. It kept, see how it's all stuck on the bottom here, this epoxy? It's because it was sticking inside the planer. So it gets hot when you cut it, and yeah, that's what you're left with. So I probably should have let it cure an extra day or two. There. Get the other side. And then we gotta take our track saw and chop all the epoxy off the edges. Definitely got some Skype on this side too. We're gonna have to take care of, but that's okay. The first pass was a little bit too much, I think, in that planer. I definitely took off too much for the first pass, but it's so hard getting that first pass down with these goofy depth gauges on these planers. All right. Let's get the track saw out. Tony, where you came on plane. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you misspoke there or something. Elaborate a little bit further of what you're trying to say, buddy. Okay? Yeah, that's why I cleaned it up, because if you let it sit there, because when it heats up, when you cut it, it gets soft, right? So if you let that just sit there, when it cools back down, it's gonna get like hard again, and then boom, you're left with a huge goddamn mess. Let's see what I got. All right, let's see. Probably measure it. Where's my dust collector? I saw that rigid workbench router table on clearance at Home Depot. Yep. Yeah. I haven't really. I haven't used it as a router table, and after thinking about it, after I bought it, I kind of jacked up the first one I bought, trying to connect a cordless trim router to it. After I thought about it, it probably wouldn't have worked well for what I needed to work for. Boom, just like that. That's gone. Oh, did I not get it all? Oh yeah, I got it all. Okay. Good. Alright, now we'll do the other side. We may be able to get away with doing the rest on the miter. Yeah, we should be able to do the rest on the miter. If unicorns in the old paintings ever had of image. What up, Rod? What up, what up, what up? Don't mind me, guys. I'm just working. I'll use a small square for this one. She is. Now we got to do the two ends here. They got epoxy on them. It came out pretty good. Nice clean cut. That's 2-inch thick walnut, so let me make sure this can do this. Yeah, it can do it. Looks like there's wood cut in there though. Excuse me, guys. See how that shit just gums up? It's all over my friggin' miter saw now. This epoxy shit. Look at that. That was with the dust collection on it. Yeah, it's not called Milwaukee. It's called Milwaukee. I know there's other retarded like YouTubers that call it Milwaukee, but it's not Milwaukee, it's Milwaukee, and it's not always for the wind. As you just saw, my DeWalt miter saw there. That's for the wind too. So I'm not brand loyal. I just buy whatever tool that I like. Regardless of the brand, I just buy whatever tool I like. So, all right, let me get you guys flipped around. We'll start sanding. All right, let's get some lights on the situation. That came out pretty good. Let's see if it's all squared up like it should be. Oh yeah, square, 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 and square, baby. I like it when I pieces all squared together. Look at that. I could do this all day long. Like I said, guys, I've been working with epoxy long before epoxy was a popular option for woodworking projects. So you can kind of call me an expert on it. I like to call myself an expert on it. It's nice and flat. Should probably check the width on all four sides just to make sure it's completely flat all over. Yeah. Sure is. I tell you what, that flattening jig, that worked out good. I just don't like how it makes a huge. After I'm done with this tonight, guys, I got a huge mess to clean up. All my most expensive tools are covered in epoxy. Let's see. Let's move this a little bit further so I can see what y'all are saying. So blow it off while it's loose and fresh. I explained why that doesn't work, Rod. Because when you cut into it, it heats the epoxy up and makes it a little gooey. Okay, so blowing it off, you almost gotta you gotta wipe it off, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Kind of like how it's sticking to my cutting board right now. So I think we're gonna go. You guys hear Rocky up there whining? I know exactly what you're talking about, Rod. Yeah, I know. And yeah, that's the Hercules miter stand. Yep. I got it for $50 at their parking lot sale. Open box. Somebody must have used it once and then said something was wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with it. I bought that for $50 like last, I don't know, June maybe it was. And now it just becomes a regular cutting board, guys, like I've shown 1,000 times on this channel. Where's my, there they are, right in front of my face. Duh. My bench cookies. I don't know, what do you guys think? This side up, or this side up? I like this side up because of how the wood changes color slowly. You know what I mean? Which side should be up? Oh, that's a good question there, Ted. I used the rock. Now this is a specialty bit. Okay, they don't. You could use a straight cut bit, but you'll be there all day long trying to flatten it, and you'll have 1,000 lots, like I was showing you, to have to sand out. Rockler makes these, and they are always out of stock with them because people are constantly buying them. I got the 2-inch diameter bit, so it's a huge bit, but you can also buy the 1-inch, I believe it is. It's actually a slab flattening bit. This bit alone is like 80 bucks. I was lucky enough for Rockler to hook me up with the whole kit and caboodle. If I can maybe show you, I don't want, because that thing's all locked into the jig. I would have to unscrew it all to show you, but the bit's probably that long and that fat. I mean, it's not a small bit. I'm kind of lucky like you to fall into some great deals, but didn't have the money to spend that you have. I don't. Listen, Rod, I don't have the money that you think I do, buddy. I just don't. I busted my ass, and I do go hunting for deals. You know, I've shown you guys, I got a million little tricks, how I save money. I've shared them all with you guys. If you guys don't want to use them, that's fine too, but like when I can get, like 95% of the stuff down here, 95% of it was not bought at full price. Actually, I'd say about 80% of it was bought at 50% or less price. Or like Rockler has now sponsored me, and they have given me some very nice tools to use to go on this woodworking thing. I also get stuff from other companies as well. But at the end of the day, I don't even pay 50% off for my tools. Like, I refuse to, because they're always going to go on sale. There's always going to be a mega sale and all that type of stuff. Hell, I got subscribers that send me stuff. Like Sayer sent me those chisels. Darren Walker sent me the Ryobi drill. So yeah, it's not quite what you think, but also too, I'm doing this to try and make money. Like I'm probably going to charge $225 for this cutting board. It needs to look good. It needs to be professional. It's got to have some level of professionalism to them, at least for me. And yeah. Yeah, I think both sides look good, but I just think, I don't know why I like this side better. I don't know why. All right, let me go get me sanders. Like, it's gotten to the point to where I'll tell you guys how much I paid for a tool, and some people literally call me a liar. I literally gotta go get a fucking receipt and show you guys. But most people aren't as committed to me either. Like, I'll drive an hour out of my way if I know that there's a tool there that is like 70% off. I showed you guys today this Irwin coping saw. Originally 15 bucks, I got it for $3. So that's almost 80% off right there. They had about 30 of them there. I should have bought all of them and resold them, but I didn't. I only bought one, and I saved the rest for other people to go get. My skill routing table. That's a $200 routing table that I got for, I think, 80 bucks. I think me and Sayer were talking about it the other night. My Craftsman, Jesus, Louises Joshua. My Craftsman, whatchamacallit? Sorry guys, I'm tired. Not the planer, the jointer, my Craftsman jointer. That's a $350 tool that I got for $100 off of Facebook Marketplace. I'm all over Facebook Marketplace, guys. Facebook Marketplace, you can find some really good deals because people end up dying. They end up passing away. Some of the stuff is brand new in the box still, and the family just wants to get rid of it. So they just say, here, give me 50, 60 bucks for it. My DeWalt planer was only $200. That's a $700 planer. The guy used it one time in his wood shop, got sick, didn't make any more woodworking projects, then passed away. And that was the last thing his family had yet to sell. And I was lucky enough to see it in time, and I drove an hour away to go pick it up. So, my Flex table saw. The Flex table saw, guys, I got that for 100 some odd bucks. That's a fucking $600 table saw. So know when you see all this stuff, my miter saw I paid because I wanted my miter saw to be good and I couldn't wait. But just know, guys, a lot of the stuff you see around here has come at like 70% off. If it ain't that, then I don't buy it. All right. And every time I get a deal, I try to tell you guys in the Discord. I try to tell you guys in the Discord, or I tell you how I did it. Hell, there's little tricks too, like Home Depot. If you just apply for a Home Depot card and then decline that you don't want the card, they give you like $100 off your order. So if you got something that's like 150 bucks, well, now it just cost you 50. I even made a video about that one, and then people, you know, were being people and calling me of this, calling me of that. So I kind of stopped sharing that stuff on my channel because people are just stupid and I'd rather not argue with them. But in the Discord, I try to tell you guys what's going on. Like that rigid mid-torque hammer drill, that was 58 bucks with a 4 amp hour EXP battery. Stuff collector, I need you. Thank yous. Alright. Let's get the shop vac over here. Milwaukee jacket is at? I like the looks of it. It is the heated hoodie. It's not the jacket, it's a heated hoodie. In about a couple of weeks, you can probably get those heated hoodies, tool only, for around 50 bucks. That's what I did last February. So be on the lookout. But they're usually on HomeDepot.com, not in store. So keep looking at HomeDepot.com, and you can get that same heated hoodie for around 50 bucks pretty soon here, because that's when I got mine. And they're starting to come down on HomeDepot.com. Sayer, I've been using this sander for like the last month and a half. Where have you been? Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys haven't already seen my Would I Still Buy It Tuesdays video that got posted today, it's featuring the Bosch sanders. If you're in the market for a sander, and if you're a woodworker and don't want to spend $800 on some ridiculous Festool one, these Bosch ones are awesome. Ted Allen knows all about that. All right, now the other side. Yo, what up, Caleb? Let's go Squatch in that wood. Well, it's epoxy and wood. But yeah. Nope, not eating tonight. That's not good. You gotta eat, man. Okay, you sand diagonally. Okay? this way, and then this way, or however way you want to do it, right? And then with the grain. Why is that? Because then the sanding lines all mix in together, and you avoid having swirl marks show up in your finished product. You want all the sanding lines to mix in to where you can't tell which way you started or which way you finished, okay? That's why I do that. That was 80 grit. And by the way, 3M pads are the best. The extract pads, I hate this thing because I can't talk to you guys with the damn thing on. Now we're going to go up to 120. And do the same thing. No, you don't need the match them rod. No, 5 holes work just fine. One day you will have a high quality cow tongue. Oh God, I don't even want to know what that's all about. But you can still use 5-hole sandpaper on 8-hole sanders. You can, you know what I mean? Or you just get this stuff and it has no holes because it's a sand net, or you get the extract pads. That's a little bit different of a sanding pad because it's got grooves for where the dust should go so it doesn't end up swirling up your workpiece. See, these ones are a little bit different. These are extract pads. See how they got the grooves? Instead of just being a net, it is a net, but they got grooves for the dust to go. So it doesn't, so you're not swirling that into your finish. Now, I got dust collection on my sander, so I don't have to worry about that, but these are the best sanding pads I've ever used. These are really good too, so I have no problem using either one. So that was 120. Want to go up to 180 now. We'll use this one. Jimmy, I think it's past your bedtime, right? All right, now we're going to go up to 220. No, we'll do 240. We'll do 240. And then maybe... This is where I had it. Because I want this to be a little bit finer of a grit. Because of the epoxy, I want the epoxy to shine and be nice and clear. You know what I mean? Probably got... Yeah, and then we'll finish it off with 320. So 240, 320, done. All right, now we got 320. This will be the last one, and then we'll route the edges. We will sand the edges with a hand sander, and then the oil, and we're done. Maybe some feet. I don't know if I want to put feet on this yet. We'll see. Thank God that thing's off. Thank God that thing's off. I hate wearing masks. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it so much. All right, we'll put these away for now because we're gonna have to sand the edges here. Put these up. Put this down here. Let's get the old router. What up, Eddie? Hey, Josh, do you have more than one kind of bench cookies? Nope, I just use the Rockler ones. Golly, this fucking epoxy. I'm gonna have to sand that off again. Also, I made a cutting board a week back. You've been inspiring me. Nice. Nice. I don't want to force anything, but I'll post links to our channels if just. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, good. Thank you for being a member of the channel for 2 months there. guys think so far, huh? These stupid little epoxy bullshits. Okay. I make this look easy. Nice, Sayer. Sayer just hit 1,000 subs. That's a big accomplishment. Only ones that matter and that listen to this old man's advice. What up, woodworking tool? Thank you. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet, LFO. I've been thinking about that the entire time I've been sanding. Do I got the balls to put that fucking jig up on this thing and give it a juice groove? I don't know. Do you guys think a juice groove in it would look kind of goofy on something like this? You need to take your channel seriously now? I don't know. This is how I feel. If it's your channel, it's your channel. Do whatever you want with it. I try not to get involved with any of that. I may have to hit this with the damn... There's a little bit of a jaggedness there. Yep, I'm going to have to. I don't like doing this. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to have to do it. So, here we go. Come on, you stupid sanding pad. That's better. Josh, what? It's a 15-second burst of power. That's what I say. This thing's heavy. Yo, what up, Jamie True? Yeah, the detail standard, the little M12 one you're talking about? Yeah, that looks nice. Don't mind me, guys. I just got to really focus right here to get this profile the way I want it. I'll answer your questions here in a few minutes. This is the tedious part of this whole thing. Seeing how I charge somebody $250 for this, I kind of want it to be perfect. I should go finish putting my mechanic tools away someday. I'll leave you. Watched here. My live uploading now. All right, brother. Thank you, Rod. Good night, Eddie. It's angled better than an OMT pads in 3. Yeah, but it don't fit my hand, dude. I can only put one finger on it. Fuck my life. I can only put one finger on it, dude. Look at where my other fingers lay. See what I'm talking about? When I'm telling you guys, my nose is all clogged up. Because whenever my face is covered like that, I can't breathe. Whenever I'm reviewing a tool, guys, and I tell you guys I'm trying to think like a midget, that's because almost everything doesn't fit my hand right. That's why I love big tools so much, because they fit perfectly. All right, last side to do, and we get all the dust off of her. All right, I'm happy. Oh, I hate wearing these things, dude. I hate them. Now I can't breathe. I swear to God, I would be able to breathe better if I didn't wear the damn thing. All right, let me get all this junk out of here. Get all the dust out of here. I should probably sand the top and the bottom real quick. Let's get this out of here, this. Did you get the black Ryobi in the mail? Yeah, I did a whole video on it, dude. D. Walker sent it to me. I got it in the mail. I did a video on it like last week. Go check it out. Left-handed tools. I don't know if there is such a thing. All right. Moment of truth's coming up here. Let me go get a wet rag. Actually, use some of these shop towels I bought. I bought these and I never freaking use them. Go wet this down in the bathroom real quick. That looks pretty good, don't it? Hold on, go get more. All right, we'll let that dry, and then we'll put the oil finish on. Yeah, I kept it. Sure did. I did a Would I Still Buy It Again Tuesday video on it. That was maybe one of the first ones I did. I like it. It's good. It's a good tool. And it's way more powerful than the DeWalt. Even though I like the DeWalt a little bit better because Milwaukee refuses to, you know, have smaller, stronger batteries and that type of stuff. I wouldn't get mad at anybody if they went out and bought the Surge or liked it better than the DeWalt. I'll tell you that much. Tiger wood, huh? That's called Super Russet, I think, color. Red Russet, I think it's called. Yeah, makes it pop, but wait till you see this. You haven't seen nothing yet, Rod the Bod. You have not seen nothing yet, Rod the Bod. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. How about it popping now? Look at that. Man, did that come out good. What type of different woods did I use? This is just walnut and epoxy. Live edge walnut and epoxy. Thank you, Pine Tree. What do you guys think? Red Russet is the color of the epoxy I used. Dude, this is fucking awesome. This is what I want to do right here. I've been working with epoxies for half of my fucking life. Sorry, excuse my French. For half of my freaking life. And this is what I'm good at. This right here. This is what I'm good at. I just had to build my confidence on the woodworking side to mend the two together. You know what I mean? Now we're going to let that soak in. We're going to let that sit for a while, at least a few hours before I wipe it down, and then put wood butter on it. Maybe another coat of oil on it. See, it all depends how fast this absorbs it. I like this side the best because of how the wood looks. This side has more epoxy showing. But I like this side better. I don't know. You guys tell me. Skinny epoxy side or thick epoxy side? They're both great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Think it's more work to do that style or one like your others? More work doing this one. Way more work. It takes longer. If you're using deep pour epoxy, you got to let it at least sit for a week. At minimum a week. I didn't use deep pour because it was only about an inch thick gap here. About an inch and a half thick and an inch wide. So I just use regular epoxy with it. But man, if you're doing a bigger river that's about that wide in it, and you're using deep pour, it's got to sit for at least a week. Okay, and then you can run into troubles. The epoxy may not cure right. And all that type of stuff. So it's definitely more costly. And the level of difficultness goes up to make sure you get a flat surface when you're mending epoxy and wood together. And live edge wood is more expensive too than the other type of cutting boards I've done. I don't know, maybe we'll try a not live edge wood cutting board with epoxy. You know, maybe take some maple, maybe do like a blue epoxy with just maple that isn't live edge, see how it looks. Who knows? It may look good. Here, Ted. Can you see that? Or is the light blinding? Can you see that? Red russet. What, like purple heartwood, Jamie? Have I ever made a bowling ball? What do you mean by make a bowling ball? No. I've taken a bowling ball and engraved a bunch of stuff around it and poured epoxy into those cavities and made somebody's own personal bowling ball. But no, bowling balls are made in factories with high performance resin that cures in like 20 freaking minutes, and it's done by machines and all that type of stuff. You got to have molds, you got to have reactive resin, you got to have the core. It's not as easy as people think it is. Did the feed freeze up or is it me? I don't know. People are still asking questions. I don't think it's froze up. All right, so I'm going to let this sit overnight. And then tomorrow maybe we'll go live when I get home from bowling. And we'll put the wood butter finish on it and see if that really brings it even more to life. I may have to put another coat on it, but I'll do that before I go to bowling. But yeah. I think it came out absolutely freaking gorgeous. It's heavy too, man. This is a heavy-ass cutting board. What time tomorrow? I'm not sure. It all depends what time I get out of bowling, but it probably won't be before 11 o'clock. Unfortunately, Eastern time. Thank you. Now I have to say I like both sides. I like both sides too, but I like this side better. I don't know why. Thanks, Caleb. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I mean, if I didn't already know how to work with epoxy, this is much more difficult, guys. I've been working with epoxies for 20 years, so it comes easy to me because I've been working with them for 20 years. So I know what to look out for. I know how to avoid catastrophe and all that type of stuff. But if you're looking to, let me go get the mold real quick. Hold on. But if you're looking to avoid catastrophe, and I mean, I could just build my own mold out of melamine, but then that mold is for one-time use only. Melamine ain't cheap, okay? So if you got a rock clear in your area and you want to build your own type of cutting board like this, Spend the $100 and buy this, because guess what? You can use this hundreds of times over again. Where Melon Me, you got to throw it out. It's you break it off the board, and then it's firewood after that. This you can reuse over and over again. Just make sure you spray it with mold release before you pour. Make sure you caulk your wood down to the mold, so that if you have to pick it up and put it on a flatter surface or level it, which you should probably do that before you start pouring. I didn't do that because I was lazy. Not lazy, I was already live and I didn't want to waste people's time. And having the slab flattener is a crucial part in all this. If I didn't have that slab flattener, this would have been hard to get flat, you know, with just the planer. I probably would have had to shave off at least another 1/4 of an inch. And now you're getting into it being too thin for something like this, because epoxy is, it can warp and bend in weird ways. You kind of want that epoxy to stay at least an inch thick. I mean, this is 1 1/8 inches, so you want it to stay at least 1 inch thick. If you got to plane the board down so much under that inch, well, now you risk 6, 7 months down the road that board being warped. So you really need to keep it at least over 1 inch thick. Because that's just how the live edge was, Rodney. So let me finish my thing here. I'll go show you. So if you guys are looking to do this yourself, I highly suggest just going to Rockler, spending the $100 on the mold, and it makes it so much easier. You can still make your own mold, but then you got to caulk it. And like I said, you just wasted $20, $30 on a mold that you got to throw away, when you can just go buy one for $100 and you can use it hundreds of times. This is definitely more cost effective in the long run. Rodney, let me show you. Because when you're dealing with live edged wood, okay, these are the same boards that came off of this cutting board, okay? This one's debarked, this one's still got bark. You got to obviously debark it, okay? And you can see the contours of the live edge are different on both sides. They're not, you know, we didn't do nothing to it. We didn't sand it down or nothing like that. So you're just dealing with whatever type of contours that the live edge has on both sides. I have a lumber mill near Branson, but I don't have a clue how. All right, guys. It's 12:30 my time. I got to get cleaned up, showered up, and bed up, because I got a big day tomorrow. So maybe we'll go live tomorrow and we'll do the final finish. Maybe we'll put the legs on. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Maybe we'll put a juice groove in it. I don't know yet. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow about it. But yeah. Thanks, Pine Tree. It used to be a tree. And oh, thanks, Shaka. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.